Hey there, well, welcome back to my channel. I am working here on a little 6x6 painting with water mixable oil paints. I've worked on with water mixable oil paints before, but I'm really enjoying the ease of cleanup and just the feel and texture of them. Playing around today with a simple landscape and wanting to focus on atmospheric perspective and composition. I'm also playing around with these toned ground. I've done an oil-based toned sort of background, I guess you could call it, toned ground of the panel. Just used some old paint from a previous painting and just slapped it on there in various respects, and let me know what you think. I'm not sure that it makes much of a difference because I don't really have the tone coming through in any real way at the end of the painting, but would love anybody's thoughts on the value of doing this or not. So here you see me just getting these colors in, the basic colors. I start out way too dark in the background. I'm looking at a photograph, and of course, photographs always lie. The shadows are much too dark, and everything gets flattened out. So I'm paying a little bit too much attention to the photograph, and a little later on, you see me try to course correct that. But essentially, this is a hike that I was on several years ago, a path leading across through a mountain ridge, and also trying to pay attention to, in this painting, and who knows if I was successful or not. You can let me know. Trying to pay attention to focal points and, not painting everything with the same importance, and sharpening some edges and softening others, and really exploring what it is to be a poet of the landscape rather than creating a blueprint of it. So we'll go ahead and get this video moving on a little quicker, and I'll pick it up here in a few minutes. So I'm blocking in this side of the hill here, and you can see some of this red come through a little bit, and I kind of dig that at first, and I may have ruined that effect a little bit as I go. Here you see me trying to cool down this hillside in the back, and I'm not being totally successful at that, but I continue to try to work on it. But I'm a big fan of just getting the panel covered and then making adjustments from what I see based on what's on there. I'm also, excuse my face that continues to be in the shot. I'm trying to figure out the best location for the camera to be. I'm still pretty new to this in the YouTube stuff, so still working on how best to navigate this. My last video, I was sitting on a chair and it had this squeaky back, and I got one comment on the video, understandably so. Someone said, "I don't like your chair," and I was like, "Yeah, I hear you." So this time, first of all, I'm sitting in a different chair, but I'm also exploring this model of painting and then doing a voiceover. I'm not sure if it's really a good idea or not, but I'm sure maybe some of you might be able to give me some feedback. This was a really cool image that I took, and what attracted to me about it was some really beautiful golden greens and yellows right where the path circles around the corner of this hill. And behind that were some really dark values of the mountain. And so I thought, gosh, that's a really wonderful focal point. When I was mapping this out, I thought, I need to make sure I don't place that right dead smack in the center of this panel. And it looks like I placed it right dead smack in the center of the panel. So I'll work on adjusting that next time. But yeah, just looking at composition and trying to work on values and not going to the highest chroma or the highest value right off the bat. But again, looking at this now, I really do just like slop in that white pathway, and it didn't look that bright when I was painting it, but it certainly does now, doesn't it? So you'll see me a little later on try to tone that down a little bit as well. I think one of the challenges for me in landscape painting is to not feel like I am needing to get every distinct detail in, but to create a sense of what it felt like to be there rather than to faithfully represent it. This is a few minutes later on. I spent about an hour or so. I'm a little longer than an hour on this little 6x6, and here I am again, just trying to get that background pushed back a little bit. Trying to just get a little sense of distance. I'm trying these strokes going downwards, and eventually I end up doing vertical strokes, and I think that works a little bit better. You can see the path. I've toned it down quite a bit, and I tried to give the focal point to the area as the path circles around that mountain. So just continuing to work on it. I really get lost when I paint, and I find that in a good way that it's just a wonderful habit, and I really enjoy, my life is so busy with interacting with lots of people and things, and there's something really beautifully solitary about trying to capture something quiet on a panel or on canvas. These little 6x6 panels are really fun to play with, and I'm really looking forward to creating more paintings on these. I've been on a real sea kick, ocean waves kick, and ocean rocks kick recently, so it's been fun to sort of get back to a landscape more familiar to me here in Utah. So again, just continuing to work on little bits and pieces. It's around this part where I start to feel like I'm kind of fiddling a little bit, and I think I might ruin any freshness that I've found. So there it is. That's the finished landscape. One of these paths up in northern Utah, and it was a real pleasure to work on. Thanks for joining me.